for another round of Unity. For the moment, I'm currently planning to try and add a filter to my available plays. That's all. Pretty minor, right? But it's something, right? So the goal here is to try and let's see if I can turn this on here. You can see it. Somewhere on the screen. Why is it not showing actually? So it was there, it was set, it was even pointing at the right thing, but it didn't show up as I had expected to. Okay, so um, yeah, let's see if I can get this going. All right, so here's the thing. It's minor. It's a little thing I want to get done, preferably before I call it a night. I know this is tiny, but I don't have a lot of room on my screen if I don't want to hide everything I'm doing here. Okay, so you might not be able to tell if you're using a tiny screen like I am to view this. Um, but this is 11 plays, but there's a defensive plays in here. I think there's a defensive play in here at least. I thought there was. Or it is it this one? Nope. Well, I thought I had a defensive play on here somewhere. Maybe I don't. Oh, I don't have one that's loading anyway. Huh. Well, I can still make this work. Okay, so the goal here, this is the defensive button, this is the offensive button, and this is special teams. Theoretically, these should all toggle, and when I click the defense, um, it should filter these out. So if there's no defensive play here, then it doesn't load. So, or it doesn't display them. So that's the idea. So let's see here what we have. Now, it's a little, I believe, yeah. Okay, so I have a flag. Should be a pretty simple thing. I just don't have it set up because they're not attached. So the playbook panel has this unit filter button, offense button, defense button, special teams. And so we're going to try, and I am going to actually implement. Is this thing still working? Why did that not continue to it only imported? Why did it only do some? Did I have staged files? I don't know how I end up with staged files. Oh, weird. I don't know why. Now they're all gone. Got to make sure everything's checked in because I had some serious pain in trying to get things going before. So now I'm building it. So here's the thing I got to figure out too is at some point I got to figure out how to create APKs so they can be side loaded onto an Android phone that I could test. I would love to get an APK, even of my dummy little not very far app here, just for a proof of concept onto my phone. You know, set the put it in developer mode, side load the APK, and oh by the way, My Kickstarter's live. Woohoo! Finally. It's currently at 0% funded. So it's not doing any better than my Indiegogo. Although I did get like 5 people ask me questions about it. I couldn't tell if they were legit though. You know, sometimes you get people. Well, one of them was definitely marketing. A couple of them were um, foreign language. I mean, they weren't foreign language, but they were, broken English. So I couldn't tell if it was, scammy or if it was just somebody who's not from around here. I don't know. Uh, I do not plan uh, to localize this app in the first go round. If I do have a localized version, it'll be way down the road when I can hire somebody to help me localize it. Because and that's only if it's successful enough locally to justify localizing it. But um, we'll see. First things first. So we're going to go in, and the objective here is to go to the playbook, and let's see here. Expand my screen a little bit. Steam data. Stream setup. Services, playbook service. Probably the UI manager is the one I want, which is way down here somewhere. Utilities, UI, playbook UI manager. Okay. Now here I have to figure out, let's see. Set up unit filter buttons. Okay, so that's probably here. These are not functioning currently. They have no functionality, and then there's listeners, set unit filter. Oh, so 1, 2. Oh, okay. Well, if these are working, then they're not working right. But let's go ahead and add. Let's see if this works. Oh no, let's do this. Oh no, probably because I don't remember my own hotkeys. All right, so we're going to add in a playbook feature. And let's see, playbook micro, service, no, 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 UI, UX, and visualization, sure. Display game time playbook in match, I don't know what that is. UI, design UI for management user playbooks. Design UI for managing user playbooks. Yeah, that works. I'm doing that one. I don't even have a task for it. We're going to go task. Enable. Enable? Is that the word? Enable. Not enable. Yes, turning them on is one thing, but enable tie in? No, it's enable slash code unit filters for available for everything. It kind of happened to me the other day when it's like this might still. Oh, I have to go. It's because it's got a weirdness about it. ClickUp is not perfect. Oh, all right. Guess I got bugs in my cool function. Uh, this dot select list is not. Wow, bummer on that. All right, so I'm gonna open it up, but probably not gonna work on it right now. It just gives me something to look at later. I'm multitasking. I mean, I did put it in, but it didn't quite work. Thing is, I had all this going, so but apparently something's something's the extension host will do something, and then when you go put it live, it trips on itself. So there's something that's still not quite right, even though I feel like I tested all these things in the extension host. I couldn't replicate it in the extension host. Can this be? I don't think I'm even going to find that because that is that's an error stating that what it's calling doesn't exist. To create Gemini Assist has been updated. Really? I'm not even using Gemini's Code Assist because it wasn't working the way I hoped. So I was using Gemini and Claude for a while there. I wonder if this thing shows anything in the debug console. Huh. Well, obviously, whatever that's setting to, not quite right. So my ClickUp link is having trouble functioning in the real world. It works fine in extension of. It did create the link at least. Let's see if that works. Okay, so at least that works. And so I can create a link. I just was it was not letting me. So it was not letting me actually create a new link apparently. Adding a new task, which was kind of sucky, and it. So I'm able to go to the design UI mesh, so that works. That's a step. That's a step in the right direction, but I don't think any of my links work. They're all probably not working. Yeah, the whole select fold. I don't know why all of these links are broken. Why? I don't know. Oh, wait, what? Oh, that's FPFM. That's not the one. That's the right one. That's not it either. I have too many projects open, people. Let's see here. The error. You got the method. is being called incorrectly or the context is wrong. Looking at your code base, I can see the issue. When you create breadcrumbs, code lines, you're calling the methods like change list, which eventually call methods on the call task class. However, the get task methods like select list are being called the wrong context. The issue is in how the command handlers are set up. Looking at the breadcrumbs creation, this calls the clickup link.changelist command, which should be handled by clickup code lines provided.changelist. Sounds like the task command where the task.taskgetter changelist is being called. The methods need to be bound to the correct context. Fix this by updating the execute task command method. Let's see what this does and how big of a change is it. It might be multiple. Only one? Really? That's going to get rid of all that. Seems like a lot to delete for wait command method dot bind. Bind the method to the correct context. We got to bind it first. On did change code lenses. And the other option was method and get task expect callback functions. Probably part of my refactor. I did do a refactor to reduce and simplify and clean up code with Gemini. Gemini dropped a couple of balls there. That's why I checked all these stuff, but in the extension handler it worked. Let's see what Gemini comes up with. I'm curious what Gemini's solution is. I have the code there, so I can always go back and tell it to reply. It's probably the same problem, but anyway, so let's go ahead and let Gemini fiddle faddle with that. It'll take him a few minutes to figure that out. While I do that, I've got my my thing to work on here. So let's go see. We want to set unit filter to 1. Let's go over to this. Go to definition. Offense button dot interactable unit filter. What is unit filter? Oh, that's the value. Filter and display plays. Okay, so only refresh display if data is loaded. All right. Yeah, but how does it know? All right, let's go see filter and display plays. What is this one doing? Go to, there's a lot of depth in this. Okay. Clear existing play. Debug log. Available play container. Clear container. Filter by current unit type. Let's play definition. Filter plays. Huh. Well, whatever this is doing, it's not doing. So I think the problem, it may not be that I don't have the code. I think the problem may be that I'm not actually triggering this. How do I let's go over to Playbook Manager UI here. Set up filter buttons. Go here, and then I'll go here, and we'll put a break. Let's go see what it does. All right, so if I want to click on one of these, I'm thinking that it's not clicking. That's what I think. Yeah, see my buttons aren't clickable. I think that is first and foremost my biggest problem, and I think they're backwards. Honestly, I think they're backwards. So I think I want the one that's highlighted to be the default. So let's go ahead and stop this. We're going to go into my buttons, and so when these are loaded, one of these is, how do I make it enabled? How do I make it gray and enable? All transparent mesh. Because those guys are kind of different. There's a difference between enabled and disabled, but I'm trying to figure out how that looks in the grand scheme of things here. Huh. The only thing changing is the image. But I know that it's doing something because I can see it in the screen. So let's go see what's going on. So let's see if this AI can help. I gotta ask some questions of the free stuff, the stuff that doesn't ever charge me anything. In Unity, I have several. First is here, but it is safe. I think is filter panel even a thing? I mean, is it like a special thing? Well, not that I can see. I mean, it doesn't have any special code or things other than to have this script, which might be the problem. The free one, I think, on here is actually 4.1. Panel, which first button, and gray. Second and third. By default, the second and third should be should be normal. Okay. No, no. Now, it's quite possible that none of them are plugged in. They don't do anything because they don't do anything. So that's a whole nother problem. Let's go see if I can find this filter panel thing. Because I'm guessing your code for setting the button's interactable state is correct. Good. With the status, default state, current unit filter 1. So offense button equals false grayed out, others true, normal. If you want the selected button to look active, normal color, and the others to look inactive, grayed out, you need to invert the logic. All right, do that. So, all right, so interactable. Oh, okay, so interactable is enabled or disabled. We if it's one, so if it's not equal to one, oh, so we need to say it's if it is equal to one. So that should fix the appearance. All right, good. And now you have set unit filter. If clicks are not triggering, check if the buttons are interactable in the inspector. Check if there are any UI elements blocking raycasts above the buttons. Above the buttons. That's right, because if they're on the bottom, they won't get shown. So we need to hit some, what would be blocking a raycast? Let's see. So the problem isn't that they're not set. The problem is that they might be getting blocked. So let's go enable, well, let's just see what these things have. So we have offense button. These guys get to go first, but if they're at the bottom, no, they shouldn't have any effect. Filter panel, where's the filter panel? Simulation panel, playbook panel, title screen. So the filter panel must be in here. Okay, unit filter panel. And I believe the one's on top. You know what? I think this guy. Let's just see if that in itself is enough because it's now on top. I don't think there should be anything triggering, but there could be some image, something weird blocking it. I don't know, but we're gonna find out. Could simply be that the image itself that's in the filter panel, maybe that's blocking it. I don't know. Okay, let's go see. That would be nice, huh? Have a nice simple fix. That'd be crazy, man. All right, so we got the buttons altered, but nothing's happening with these. Okay, that's weird. I clicked on it, did something kind of, but nothing. Oh, oh, wait, they should all be interactable. Oh, that's weird. Okay. Hmm. I didn't even think about that. Oh, whoa, whoa. That did something different. Okay, I didn't expect that. So, huh, huh. I see what's going on. So I need it to look like it's interactable but not be. It's like I need it to be the ones that are. Like, this is weird. I don't even know if I can do that. I think what I need is the buttons to be gray and faded, but be interactable. The normal, the normal looking one to not be interactive. Yeah, is the selection is so one. I don't know. I don't know how we would do that. Is that even possible? Probably gonna take some custom weirdness on it because you can't like just disable it because you need those guys to be interactable, but they're gray. I need the graying to be opposite. And the AI is going, don't know. Or the active button looks normal. Set the selected button's interactable property to false so it looks normal and can't be clicked. Set the other button's interactable property true so they look faded and grayed out and can be clicked. Set button colors in the inspector. For each button, set the normal color in the button's color block to a faded gray color. Set the disabled color to white or your active color. This way, when interacting true, the button uses the normal gray. Update your code. Set unit filter. Can I do that? All right, so yeah, that kind of wonked my stuff too. I got it. I don't think it set it to the right size. So when it went in to apply the filters, the size of the filter text got blown out. So whatever this is doing, let's see, Playbook, refresh layout, available place container. Force rebuild of the grid layout group. Force canvas update. Roll rect, force update. Component parent. All right, so I'm a little not sure where to put this. Because for one, how is it grid header? Parent layout. Force canvas update. What is this to get component and parent? Yeah, but you don't want to go there. It must be a built-in thing. Huh. So my question is, why is my text all wonky? It looks like the image is loaded up, right? So I got some things I gotta get figured out here. Still don't think it's pretty major. I just gotta narrow it down some. All right. Display playbook plays. Display plays. Down. Here we go. Filter by current unit type. Filter playbook plays. I haven't gotten to that part yet. I didn't have those. Check if the play is in the user's playbook. Yeah, don't need to worry about that yet. Display playbook plays. I think the problem is, I think we have our refresh layout is doing something different from the actual layout. There's a, there's a, it's not using the same settings, or it's overriding some settings. All right, so we do want this. But it didn't give me the update. Set button colors in the inspector. Okay, go to the inspector. Filter panel. I'm gonna go button. Sets Unity's default. Set the selected button's interactability to false, so it looks normal, can't be clicked. So this part is correct, but I don't know how to set that one because it says for each button, set the normal color in the button's color block. How do I know what normal is? For each button, that's the question. How do I set the unless there's more to it? Can I edit this? Huh, not exactly. Select your button in the hierarchy. Click on the button game object. Find the button component in the inspector. Okay. In the inspector panel, locate the button script component. I don't think this is going to accept an image, but nope. The button component is mostly edit. All you expert Unity people probably watch and look and they go, ah ha 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 ha, this guy can't do the simple things. I don't know what I'm doing. But hey man, Such is the way. There isn't even an interactive. I don't even know what there's no interactable but it's all grayed out. All gray. They're interactable. Button hierarchy. In the hierarchy, check the interactable box at the top of the button component. It's not a thing, man. You want to enable static flags for all the child objects as well? No, wait, no. Nope. Huh, I didn't even know I can do non-gray buttons. just just by the coincidink. Does it actually change the color? What if I put in this select icon? Does this actually change the icon? I changed it here. Didn't really do anything over here. Like, okay, well, that's a thing, but I don't see how that helps me any. Kind of sort of cool if it did change it, but it doesn't. So yeah. Interactive button. Oh, you know what? Let's stop this thing. I want to. That's probably the problem. That is probably the problem. Oh, you can't even turn these on now. Just gray. Totally gray. When I go to this component now and edit it. Oh, look. We can. All right. So when it's interactable, and there's in interactable, in interact, in uninteractable. Yeah. Why not just disabled and enabled? What the heck? Why's it gotta be so hard? Set these follow you in these cases. Normal color. Set your faded gray color, which is what? Lots of C's, it says. Um, oh, okay. So we want whatever color this is, normal. The disabled color, we want just white, which is plus S. All right. So if you press the button, what if I go darker, just for fun? See what that does. I want to see what it does if I go like extra dark. That's just the special teams button, which won't do anything. But when you press it, it goes really dark and then it comes back to white, or it goes really dark and it goes to light gray. Just kind of like a visual effect. And then we'll go on offense and we'll just go normal color. All right, disable, we want white because white is the and the gray is technically be ready to be turned on. So basically, I want it to look off when it can still be clicked. Is kind of what I'm going for here. Dark gray. I don't even remember what I picked. What did I pick? I don't like it. Well, live and learn. Experiment, man. All right, so let's try and copy that. So I'm going to defense. C8, and here, we go. All right, let's see what that does for enabling. Then we have to go back to my code and change this little nurglet. So we want to go back to the not able. It was like it had the right answer, but it just wasn't, just didn't look right. That's what the problem was. And of course it wasn't working. Now I think I've got it working. And I just got to figure out why it's not loading correctly. All right, that is my first step. Now we need to go figure out. I put the color blocks. Well, I'm just clicking on the filter buttons. And the filter and display plays function tires. Text on the cards is no matching. Oh, so the question here is trying to figure out something about this filter and display plays. It looks like it's not really doing anything other than just saying, hey, refresh. So something about the refreshing process is skipping out on something. Late update. Oh, okay. So there's something about the late update. So let's go to the game card. Don't I have any late? Do I have? Wait. Let's try immediately, but it might get called again in late update. Font size needs update. Debug. Update font size. I have an update font size, which is obviously not triggering because that's so I'm pretty sure I've got multiple things trying to set the font, which is problematic. Gemini did pretty good at refactoring earlier. I may have to have it take a look at this. Tell me why I'm getting the, because like, so I have a function up here that says set compact size. It seems to trigger the right sizing. But almost rather, I don't know what this is triggering, size delta. I don't know what the call is here, because if I call that function, it's too generic. I don't want to set it unless I have a different form of filtering. I have 0, I have 0.4. Operating game card is set flag update, font size, and late update. In the create game card method, after setting the card size, call this ensures the size is set before adjusting the font. Huh. Create game card. Where's create game card? I already have that. Oh, it's just saying do it afterwards? Half sneeze. Got a little those half sneezes. All right, let's stop this. Let's see if just doing this will fire it, and then we'll know if we're on the right track, or at least if we made any progress in the last couple of moments. Ugh. Maybe if I get this done, I can go to bed early tonight and not be so tired tomorrow. Just you got to break when you can. That would be amazing. Going to bed early is not something I get to do usually on my late nights. This 11, I allow myself to 11:30. I shoot for 11, but I allow myself to 11:30. Monday, when my first time, I went to 12 for this week. So yeah, that was not the strategy. All right, so we got that. Filter and display. Okay, that's fine. Read a bunch of those. They didn't quite do what I wanted it there because they're still showing the wrong colors. But we do have a trigger here. All right, so yeah, that didn't do anything. But it does look right. It filtered out the defenses. So in theory, let's see if everything loads. Okay, so of course we aren't going to get a whole lot of anything. Oh, everything's loading up correctly. Except slightly not working. Zooms. Kind of. I mean, I'd rather my gray ones show up. It feels weird to have these ones come on. It is loading. Actually, the text almost looks too small. It's even smaller than I wanted. Because if you see how it looks when I go from here to here, I guess it is still small. But it is loading now. Apparently I don't have any defensive plays in there. I don't have an image for that play either. But that play is like, oh, it is actually a real play. What the heck? I don't have any plays. So my images did not change color. That's oh yeah, because I was doing it. Oh, that's dumb. I was doing. I was. Wait, no. Disabled is supposed to be white. It is. No, disabled is supposed to be white. Why isn't it not doing anything? Disabled is supposed to be white. White is the normal color. Yeah, it's not. It's not setting. Fade duration. Color multiplier. Huh. Okay. Well, buttons are working, but the selected button is still gray. The disabled color property is white. Mm, mm. Let's see here. Let's see if it gives me any other clues. Select the button's image color. Select your button in the hierarchy. In the inspector, look at the image component, not the button component. Make sure the image color is set to white. If it's gray or has alpha less than 1, the disabled color will be multiplied by this, making it look greater than gray. Okay, let's see. I didn't even know you can. Well, there's the image. Well, it is certainly white. But there isn't a. Oh, that's fine. In the inspector, look at the image component, not the button component. Make sure the image color is set to white. Check the disabled color alpha. I don't have. I suppose it's this one, which is assume this. In the button's color block, sure the disabled color is set to white with full alpha, which is what? Lots of F's. I only put 6. There's 8. I don't think the amount of I don't see the amount of F's is going to matter. I feel like yeah, you know, we're white or we're white. I don't think we're going to change the amount of white. Check this. Check the overriding scripts for animations. Make sure no script or animation is changing the button's image color at one time. If you edit the prefab, make sure the scene instance is updated. Yeah. Oh, visualize. What does that do? Show navigation flows between selected UI elements. What that means. All right, we'll try it again. I don't think anything I did mattered. What did I change? Oh yeah, I added 2 F's to the disabled color. That's all I did. I added 2 F's to the disabled color. Uh, I don't think that's going to have any effect though. Yeah, see, that didn't have any effect. But there and there. So the question is, what can I do? How big is this compared to my actual phone? Yeah, that's it's actually a little bit bigger than my actual phone, which is strange because my actual phone is probably bigger than that thing. But so how many cards can you see when you look at like your phone? I'm going to open up Marvel Snap. You can't see this because I don't have it shared at the moment. But if I go to my cards on Marvel Snap and go look at the collection, so Marvel Snap doesn't have the side view at all. Well, on the app on the PC it has a side view, but well, let's see here. So they put a bunch of little cards at the top. They're pretty tiny. Actually, they don't look much different size than mine, actually. Yeah, they're about the same size. And their big cards are actually, I think they're probably smaller than my cards. I haven't put the big cards up. Now, of course, when I click on this, my Zoom cards, my Zoom card is actually bigger than the card on Marvel Snap. But I like the way Marvel Snap blurs the background. I like that. That's cool. I may have to look into that. See if I can get a blur effect. I kind of like that blur effect. Sorry, Marvel Snaps. I'm going to probably steal your blurring idea. It's a pretty common thing to blur the background. I mean, whatever. I am kind of, but I'm not blurring it. I'm just fading it by putting a thin film over it. But I actually like the idea better of just having a full blur going on in the background. And it doesn't use any like closing buttons, I noticed either. It's like I have it, but there's no closing button. Just tapping anywhere on the screen once you're zoomed in will will basically shut it. There's no They do have like a tab. You could do one other thing, look at the mastery. But I mean, I could add stuff to it later. I'm not worried about that. But yeah, I mean, mine. Oh, they do have an X. Huh? You could tap anywhere on the screen, but they put an X. Their X is kind of cool. Maybe a little bit more like gamified. I like gamified images for games. You might ask, well, what the heck is gamified? It's one that doesn't look like something you'd see on any old window. Like you see mine here, I have an X in the corner. Yeah, it's kind of got a little bit of a flavor, but if it was bigger and more bold and sat in the center and just was like something kind of different, makes it more gamified. Sometimes people use things like other icons, like an arrow that's kind of fancified and points off in a different direction, or just something that makes it more in line with the feel of the game rather than these random X's. And I don't really like X's for exiting, especially in a game, because it feels very Windowsy. Just like a lot of these other games out there, um, manager games, they just look like you're navigating a Windows app. Here's a bunch of stats, and then we're going to throw these couple little things that look kind of like a game in front of you, a couple pictures of random cartoon characters. Um, but so I'm sure there's a way to make this thing do what I want, but at least I got the filtering working. I do kind of want to see if there's a way to fix these images. There's probably a trick I can pull. I haven't figured out what it is. Maybe Gemini or um, I don't know. I'll have to run it by one of the other AIs and see if they can come up with a solution that would work. Because The transition color tint. What is this? Animations, no sprite swap. Oh, that might be a way around it. Create my own sprites. Go create a faded version of this guy and put it in the disabled option. That's an option. That's a one way I could probably do it. I didn't even think about that color tint. The color tinting doesn't quite do it though. I have no idea what the animation would be. That'd be kind of cool. I like doing animation. But what would that be? Have the little guy start running? Have a quarterback throwing a football while you're in the passing, while you're in the offense, and then the defensive guy, what would he be doing? I don't know. And the kicker kicking the ball. Those would be kind of cool animations. It's not something I'm gonna do though, because like that's like over maybe at some point, some way, somehow. But I like the sprite swap option. But I have to create images for that. So maybe I'll look at that tomorrow, maybe. Or you know what? Let's uh, let's go into my code and we will update UI to show active state. Okay, so we're going to go right here and we're going to go do this kind of, it doesn't fully work because I got to fix my clickable or my click up link. Let's see. First of all, did this keep my existing one? All right, so what I could do, let's see if I can make this happen in a different way. Let's see if the other feature works. I figure out how to get things working. So this one I can probably say is now fixed. Does my click for this work? Lows. Setup filter. All right, I did that. But what I'm going to need to do is go in here and add another one I want to add. Now that's closed, and we'll go back a notch. Oh, no. No. How do I make that show up? You. No, no. Okay. Didn't want to set that way. But anyway, game game time playbook image. I don't even have that design. Go away. Why do I? No. No. Why are you? Oh, it's back here. Okay. That is supposed to be. Oh. How come I got the wrong statuses on these things? That's not my statuses. Look, if I go here, how do I have different design statuses? Huh. This setting. I don't know how that happened. That was weird. All right. That's why UI, because it only had two options. All right, so we're going to create another task. Create disabled. Well, I could have disabled. How about, let's make this easier. Create selected slash unselected unit filter button or variance. Why did that go? Why did that disappear? Who told you to disappear? Design UI for managing user playbook. Well, I kind of did that, but that's done. But where did the one I just created go? I click up to some weird stuff sometimes. Where did the task I just created go? Did it like not bind to it? That is so freaky, man. I created it and it vanished and now it's just gone. Did it throw it somewhere weird? It just like decided to go wherever it wanted? That is so freaky weird. Right? There it is. Oh, it's there now. I don't know. Yeah, you code is weird sometimes. I'm gonna set status because we're gonna call this to in development because it's most definitely in development. And this one is well, what is this one in? What is the state of this one? Status. Well, it's got to be more than in design. How about ready for development? It's not gonna take that long to create grayed out images. The description on this one will go thicker. QB defense. All right, let's just go with this. Offense, defense, special themes filters, buttons, playbook. Need to have custom friends. Interactable. Interactable? All right, that's good. I'm good with that. Till next time.